this is Maggie. Hope you guys had a great week. I wanted to work on this video to go over a couple of art supplies that I have purchased and have become my favorite ones, and I have let go of some, incorporated new ones. I wanted to show you that, and the ones that I continue to use on a daily basis, or my most favorite ones, so I use them all the time. I do have like the crayons, soluble crayons that I like a lot, but I don't use them every day. And so I have supplies like that that I know I look for them, use them at time, but these are the ones that I mainly do on a daily basis, mainly use on a daily basis. I have been working on my Trapmore watercolor travel journal. These are watercolor pages. It's 140 lb, pounds, 300 gm. This one I bought at Walmart for $13.99, and it's great for watercolor. And I use it, to continue practicing and continue working, my journals to get better in my drawings and my watercoloring. Um, um, this is this page was for my video. I'm gonna convert this into a mixed media. But this is what they called a thumbnails, and basically what you do is you do little portraits, and this is to help you with your watercolor techniques and stuff like that. You're not supposed to spend too much time on it. Is to help you get quicker use doing your watercolor and not spending too much time on your details, which I didn't follow the rules because I decided to do this one here from a picture. This is from where Frank, my son from Franco TV, he likes to travel and he sends me all these beautiful pictures. So he sent me this picture, and I decided I wanted to go ahead and use it as a little portrait here as a thumbnail. And but I ended up spending a lot of time on the little techniques and stuff like that. But it really truly does work. This was like real quick to do this one. So I guess when you just reduce it to one side and you just play around with it, it helps you, how to use your watercolor for certain techniques here. So I'm gonna continue to do this as practice because I know that helps me get better. And I did this one. This was just a regular watercolor. I did the flowers, kind of used a shape of heart around it with very light pencil around it, and then came with the watercolor. Did the flowers first and then fill in the inside with that light green. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then use I believe my dip in pen and that. And that's so far what I've used this one, my most recent activities on this book. I did created another watercolor journal. I had a lot of fun with this one. I actually used the gel prints that I did on my previous video, and this back here, it is watercolor, and I actually use the gold watercolor, and you'll see this the deco foil to put that gold around it. So this is something that I like to use a lot, and I've been using it lately. But I created this one to continue to work on watercolors this side, and then put them in here and keep them all together. Like I put this page here. Right now I don't have enough pages, but I think when it gets pretty much full with pages, I think I'm gonna like more the flow of opening them because right now it's like, okay, it doesn't really flow that well. I was thinking about probably doing the watercolor on back of it, but then I find myself a lot of times when I'm working on a project looking for something, and I'll pull it out and use it. So I think I'm just gonna leave one side only, and then I have two pages that are already punched, ready to go, and I'm just gonna go ahead and work on them. So this is just continue to do in my watercolor, which it seems to be my favorite. And then acrylic paints, and then all the other ones. I do use on a daily basis my little Jane Davenport this is like a journal, a calendar journal type of thing. And this is, I put all the pages here. This is from the journal itself. But here's just to keep notes of what I want to work on my next video, or things to remember, techniques that I see on YouTube that I don't want to forget and I want to try them out. I just write on here and come back. So this is kind of something that my reference book, let's call it journal. So I use that. I also have my Chick Sparrow Traveler's Notebook. Love this. This one I've had it, wow, for years already. And I just love it. And all you do is you put inserts in here. I have, this is the not the Tomoe, the Midori insert. And here the paper, really, it takes good, like, watercolor wash, but not really deep, not like this one, obviously. But you still can have fun. Like, I worked on this and I had to go really deep with the colors, which is good because this is something that I shy away from it, and this forces me to really continue to bring colors in. So it's good to work with this one. I think that's the only one. This one is more of a mixed media. I did her on a tissue type of paper and glued her here, and then do some stamps here and some soluble watercolors and stuff like that. This is just playing around. And then some of the stuff that I do, I'll come incorporate it here or use them for something else. So anyway, that's my last activities on this book. This is my out and about book, little book that I take with me. I have been working really hard on this one. I think the last one you guys saw from my video was probably when I did, I think, this too. And then this one, she's more of a pencil drawing, and then only her hair is the one that has watercolor, and maybe the eyes I put a little bit of green, but everything else is pencil. And then I like that, kind of different. This was just practicing to work on the painting that I did. And then this is another one, like this one, I was playing with. And then my little dog. This one I referenced. I used a photo, and and this. I mean, the colors are different, but I use just to be able to get the right drawing. I referenced a photo for that one. And I think this one, no, I didn't. This one was from just putting it together real quick. This one was from, I saw in Pinterest a little girl like that. Looks completely different, but this was fun. What I like it was that her hair was so bright with orange and pink. I thought that was really nice. She had the big eyes, so I went ahead and kind of did something similar. And this one was from a photo. It's actually a really bunny inside a little cup. So I went ahead and just drew it and did it here. This is just to practice. This is my out and about little journal that I use. I'll work on that one too. I haven't done butterflies in a little while, so I was practicing there. And then this one, I love this one too. It's very serious, fearless. And then I think this is my last one. So again, really going soft with the watercolors, and let the watercolor, instead of really working and trying to make the watercolor do what I'm just trying to let the watercolor do what it wants to do. So anyway, that is it for the drawings. Let me start with, I used to have this little ceramic palette, and it broke, and I was heartbroken. And it cost about $7 or so, or something like that. And I kept saying, and I got myself other palettes that I was using, and I kept putting it, but I kept saying, oh, I really, really did like working with this. The reason behind it is, once you're done, you can clean it up so fast. Even inks, when you do inks, you just, clean it up with a little sponge, and that's it. It just doesn't stay there. You don't see that color staining anything. It's just perfect. So I went and I bought it again. So I just bought this about a week ago. And then I also bought this from one of my local art stores here. And I have seen a lot of artists use this when they're doing mixing, and particularly for when you're working with, let me show you, like with big brushes and stuff like that. These are like really good to work with, you know, to pick up your paint. You have the space, like obviously you just can't go in there, but here if you have your paint, you can do your mix. So I bought this and I have used it and I love it. I love it. Then I have, make sure guys. So those are the two items I'm using. I also got a little plate, white plate, when I'm not working on a big project, so I don't have to use this one. Again, ceramic, where you can just clean it up real quickly. So when I'm working on something and I need a big spot, this will do for little drawings. Like when I work on the little portraits, this was just perfect for it. But when I'm working on a larger page where I need more colors, so I use that. So these are kind of my most used palettes. I continue to use my Jane Davenport colors. I use them a lot for my practices before I actually go into my really watercolor watercolor journals. I use this a lot. I use it a lot for my daily drawings when I'm practicing. So this is something that continues to be one of my favorites. This was an old one that I bought in I think it was Target, and I bought it because it sits on this. These are like they're actually cheap watercolors, but it had all these colors. Actually, here you put your, here it was empty because you would put your brushes here. So I brought in some all the watercolors that I had, and I just placed them in there to have all these colors here. And I had put this one away, or actually I wasn't using it because I wasn't seeing it. So I pulled it back out and I'm keeping it here because this is when I'm working and want to create something or want to practice on something before I actually go into a drawing or watercolor. I start with this, and the colors are pretty good, so it's kind of handy, and I have all the colors there. Obviously for this you don't have a place to do your mixing, so you're gonna need your little palette or the big one depending on what you're, but this is like really for my practice stuff that I even throw away if I don't like how they came out, just ideas and thoughts that I want to play with, and I know I'm not truly working on a page or a artwork. Then what I did is I had this, my little box. I wasn't using this box as I had it in a place there, and I was not using it as much because I bought this one. Let's see if you guys can see it. But I bought this one. This is huge. Where I can place my drawings, my watercolor, or my canvases, whatever I'm working on, I can place them here. And this table, it's very flexible. And when I purchased this, I stopped using this one because it was a little too small. But if I'm out and about, which I haven't been, I most likely will take this because it is a little easel. But in the meantime, what I did, see, you open it up here and tighten it up, and that's where you can do your drawings right here. This is kind of fun. So what I did is I put all of my favorite watercolors I have. I actually bought this brand about 2 weeks ago, and oh my goodness, the covers are so vibrant. Let's see. That's Daniel Smith. I think I have it here. Oh, here it goes. See if you guys can see it. That's that one, and look at the colors. This is Shemenka, and this is Daniel Smith. So this little box here holds all of my expensive, awesome watercolor tubes are in here. So I have this new set. This is Daniel Smith, and I think I have some other ones here, but just one or two. And then when you open this up here, I have all of my Daniel Smith here. So this is my treasure little box with all of my watercolor tubes are here. Okay, and then it didn't fit in there, but this is, and just because I purchased the Schmincke, I think I may not be saying it right, but I purchased this online. I think I bought it through eBay, but they all sit here. They all sit here, and so I don't have tubes, but oh gosh, they're beautiful. They're wonderful. The colors are awesome. So I have those together with my other sets here. Then I have, this is more of a palette that I love. You have all these pockets to mix your colors, and then you can just come in and I can use this with all of my tubes. There's a big difference when you have dry watercolor paint. You have to wet it and really make it come to life. But when you go straight from the tube into that painting, you know, you're able to pull it when it's nice and fresh. The painting, I mean, the colors are completely, you can tell the difference. I mean, it's so vibrant and all that. So I needed a palette where I can just pour my, like these are dry, but I'm not going to get rid of them. But if I can add a little bit more just to get that wetness, or really, you know, work with that. So I do have this palette specifically for all of my tubes, my watercolor tubes that I have here. And then this one here holds all of my Daniel Smith that I've already, when I first purchased the tubes, I put them all in little palettes. So I have them all in here, and as you can see, guys, I'm using them a lot. I love them, and I have mixed everything there. So I use this a lot, and when I really want to work on something fresh, then I go straight to the tube using the other palette. So that's another of my favorites. Then of course my Himi gouache paints. I purchased them, and believe it, I thought by now they will be dry, but they're not. And what I usually do is when I take them out, I kind of wet them. I use them, wet them, and then just seal back the box, and they're nice and moisture, which is awesome. So I love my Himi gouache paints too. And then I like to use my tissue. This is from Tim Holtz. Tissue paper to just, you know, glue them to my page when I'm doing mixed media. So I like that. I use it a lot. I love it. And then I went to Ross, and I saw this for $4.99. Originally it was $8, and then they had it at $4.99. But this, look how nice. These are like little trays that I can use with my big palette, and I can use my brush. It fits so well there, and use it as little palettes when I'm working on a paint. I hope you guys can see this. Great. And then it has this little drawers here that you can just put them in here and keep them there. So I have that. This was nice. I haven't used it yet because I haven't worked on a big either canvases or watercolor artwork, but I have that. So that I thought that was kind of neat to have. I also found, this was when I went to Ross, they had this little glass container with the little things, this is supposed to be makeup, obviously makeup pads, but I use them for my stencils when I'm doing artwork and I'm doing a page, and I use a stencil, and when you use this is the best to use with stencils. You use the paint, and then you just dab it with that, and how cute. What else do I have? Okay, and now what I did is I put all of my favorite brushes, and I have some still drying here because I used them, but all of my favorite brushes, look how soft. And this one is awesome. When you use it, this one is let me tell you the name of it. It's called Royal Lang Nickel, and it's an Z83PG. It is wonderful to use. This is for big areas when you're using watercolor. And then this is a set that I bought. I think it's the squirrel thing. Um, then I have they call a mop brush. And then this is I purchased this a long time ago, but it works so well when I want to use this type of brush. And then there is a YouTube, his name is Young something, and he does beautiful, beautiful artwork. And he does a lot of watercolor, and he only uses these two brushes. I think they're goat hair. Yeah, they're goat hair. And that's what he uses, and he can create the most beautiful watercolor paintings. And of course, so you believe, I mean, it's funny because you think, all right, I get the brush, I'll get to paint like him. No. But I have them, and believe it or not, I like them. I like them a lot. They really truly hold the paint. And you can, this one, once it's wet, it can become real pointy, and you can use it as to make a real fine line. So I have those, and they're here. And then I use Princeton brushes. They're awesome. They're soft for the watercolor. And the thin ones, the round thin ones to make lines, and really, really thin ones. So I have those here. And then another thing that I purchased that I am loving it is this little, I'm going to leave the brushes there, this little um, water bucket. And once you use your brushes, I mean, you can put any brush here because you have this size here, and you have the little ones here. Let me get a big brush like this one here. See, when it's this thick, it's not gonna, that's the only thing it's not gonna fit, is when you have a real thick brush. Obviously this is small. This is just for a quick watercolor that you don't need that much water. But all these little ones, they will fit perfect, and you wash them, or you clean them and just put them here and let them dry. I love it, and it's so easy to clean. You take this off, you separate this from here, and you clean it up, and you have your little thing here. Doesn't take that much space on your desk. This is the reason why I got it. And I like it a lot. I'm using it a lot, actually. So all my other buckets, which have a lot, I put them away. And now if I'm going to be working on something that's a large piece, then definitely this is not going to work, because it's going to get dirty right away, and I'm going to need a lot of water for that. And then let's see what else. And then I have this here, which I bought all this little fine tip brushes to work on little, which worked out really good when I was working on the little portrait. I was using these. These are from, let me see, let me get the size out. These are from Art Supply Flat. It's called Two Lantern. And it's a whole set, and I actually bought it through Amazon, and I got all these brushes, and they work. Look how thin. See if you guys can see it. So I have them here. So I have all my thin brushes here. This are for acrylic, which I love a lot. This is something that I also bought. Have them here for acrylic, and then to work on where you need to do something rough, you use a different brush. So I have those here, and I think that's it. Oh, I actually got this one from Goodwill. It's one of those things. Yes, 69 cents. It comes a lot with the baby bags, and you just have your your wipes in there. But it's great because it's so tiny. Not tiny, but nice and flat that you can have it in a corner. It doesn't take that much from your on your desk. And I think that's it. That's, you know, my most used art supplies and the new stuff that I got. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you. Bye.